Hello everyone, my name is Joe. Welcome or welcome back to the channel where we review all of your favorite TV shows. And by we, I mean just me. And by all of them, I mean just the ones I review. Anyway, today I will be breaking down the preview for The Last of Us episode 3 because I'm obsessed with this show, and after what we went through in the last episode, I have some things to talk about. And in my review, I was too emotional to be rational, so I will be a little bit more rational in this review of the preview of episode 3. By the way, I did not play the game. I did not watch playthroughs. I know nothing about this story. I don't want to know anything about this story until it comes on my screen. So please, no spoilers about the game. I will be analyzing this without any knowledge of the game, so keep that in mind. If you know everything about the story, you will not take anything out of this video. Nothing. Maybe just entertainment, I guess. I laugh at my own jokes too much. I laugh at things I say that aren't jokes too much. Anyway, onto the video. Alrighty then, I'm going to go frame by frame, freeze frame, pause the frame to watch the... My energy is so chaotic today, guys. Honestly, you're getting more entertainment than actual logical analysis, but I mean, what else is new? Alright guys, first frame, all the dead bodies outside of the wall, and god damn it, they're piled up so high! I hope they just burn them all. Because I mean, they shouldn't leave them there, right? Because if they leave them there, Jesus, I'm stuttering today. If they leave them there, isn't this just not going to be more cover for the next ones who come? You know, like, to cover them from the cold? They have to get rid of them, right? Then we see baby girl Ellie in a hospital bed with a tube on her chest. And when I saw this, I was so confused because... Is this right after the previous episode? Like, was she that hurt? Because they tackled her to the ground and they were like holding her, but did they hurt her that much? Is this right after the previous episode that we saw? Or is this when they like returned to camp after they met the fireflies and everything happened and they returned to the town city? Is this then, or is this now? Because why is she with a tube in her chest? But I mean, I'm assuming it's now because we see Ant right by her side. I'm assuming that's Ant, because she survived the goddamn attack. And then she gets up and she starts screaming. So I'm imagining this is right after Joel. I can't even say it. I think it's right after, because why else would she scream? You know, she woke up from whatever kind of freaking surgery and is just remembering what happened to Joel, and that's why she's screaming, right? And then we get like in between the scenes in this scene of her screaming, we get like a different shot of a different person next to her bed. And I'm thinking, is this a different time? Like, is this the time in the past where they had just come back? Is that hand Joel's? And then we see her coming back home, an empty home without Joel. She smells his shirts. I will be so absolutely insane about the death of this character the whole season. You will not be able to bear me. Bear me. Yeah, she gets the gun, and then we see Uncle at the morgue with Joel's dead body and a bunch of dead bodies around. And I mean, there's gonna be a lot of dead bodies. There's gonna be a lot of dead people. They're gonna have so much shit to do at camp in the town to like just clean up all of this, because they're gonna have to round up all the goddamn dead zombies and burn them, because if they don't, they'll just be bodies that can be used as cover for the next horde who comes to attack them. They're gonna have to burn all those bodies. They're gonna have to bury all their dead. They're gonna have to clean up town, not just from the rubble of a goddamn war that they just went through, but the goddamn pipes. They're gonna have to address the pipe situation. And then I'm thinking, what if the pipe guy didn't survive? Because there was one guy that was aware of the pipe situation, that saw like the little thingies growing in the pipes. And I'm thinking, what if this baby boy did not survive? What if he's one of the ones who's dead and he told no one about the pipes? What if they don't know about the goddamn pipes? Anyway, I'm assuming they know about pipes and they'll have to, clean them. And I mean, if these pipes are going through the entirety of the town, like under all the buildings and all that stuff, they're going to have to do so much construction to clean these goddamn pipes to make sure that the town is safe. Like, how are they going to do all of this? They're going to be so incredibly vulnerable to another attack. Because even after they finish cleaning up the streets, the dead bodies from the dead and alive, well, now they're all dead, the dead bodies, and cleaning up the pipes, they're going to have to rebuild certain buildings. And now they have like half of the population they had before. It's mostly like children. A bunch of other people are dead. So like, what's going to happen to them? And then in the middle of all of this, as we will see in this trailer, and we saw in the season trailer as well, Ellie for sure is going to leave to like get revenge on the fireflies. So she's going to leave, she's going to take Dina, and she's going to take Dina's ex, whose name I can't remember, Jimmy, right? Whatever. So like they're gonna have even less people to rebuild the goddamn town. What's gonna happen to this town? Like, I'm not hopeful. And yes, I thought of all of this from this one shot of Joel in the goddamn morgue. Because he's the builder too. He's the one who's been planning all this shit. I'm not hopeful for this town. Yep, we see baby girl at his tombstone. Joel Miller. And then this also, how does Dina know their names? Because they didn't speak each other's names while she was there. And I mean, she could have seen the logo for sure and remember the logo, but I'm thinking, is this how they meet? Was Dina like escaped from the militia where these people come from? Is this where she came into contact with Ellie and Joel? Is this why she is there? I don't remember from last season if she was already there before. I don't think so. I think she's a new character. Is this why she knows about the militia? Because she has been with them or has come in contact with them? Because we know from the season trailer that there are different forces outside of the walls of the city, not just the infected, but there's also the militia, and there are those religious dudes as well. So definitely there are different communities and different threats outside of the walls of the city. So if she came from the outside, if if Dina came from the outside, from somewhere in the outside of town, she might have come from one of those groups. So maybe the militia, maybe the religious cult that is forming. Is this why she knows their names and recognizes their logo, is my question. Is this why as well she goes with Ellie? Because she knows where to take her and she knows how to handle them. Because she says, I know where they're from. Like, did the Firefly group say anything about where they're from? About the militia in, what is it, Chicago? But also, if we're going to see flashbacks, because we are going to see flashbacks of Joel and Ellie returning to town after the Fireflies bullshit, surely they would have come across the militia or the religious dudes before, right? So how come Ellie doesn't know about it? Is it like a recent thing? Was the militia recently formed? Was the militia formed by these idiots? No, because the Firefly idiots were already going, I think it was to Chicago, where they were going to meet people who were going to give them shelter. So for sure that was the militia. Given what we see in the preview, I think it's a lot more likely that Dina knows who they are rather than Ellie knowing who they are. And Dina goes with Ellie to kind of like guide her through this, because maybe she knows more about them than we think, and she can actually guide Ellie. And Jimmy, or the guy who isn't Jimmy that I'm calling Jimmy, just goes with them to help them. To protect them, I guess. Not protect them, they don't really need his protection, but to help them. Because we even see Ellie training with him, and she must be considering it, right? She must be thinking if it is worth it. Because we know from the previews that at some point Ellie confronts Joel about the lie about the Firefly. So this has to happen before they arrive in the camp, or after they arrive in the camp, but a while later, like after they are settled, but definitely before the preview of beginning of season 2. So if Ellie has been confronted with the fireflies before because they've been hunting Joel for 5 years, and Ellie and Joel weren't always inside the camp, inside the town. If Ellie has been confronted by the fireflies before, how did how did she not know who they were? Or is this a situation where she knows, like Abby, she recognized her and maybe some of the others, but didn't know the symbol of the militia because the last time they saw each other, they were not with the militia yet. That makes kind of sense to me. But anyway, what I'm really going to be looking forward to and having my soul crushed by is the little moments between Joel and Ellie that are still to come, that are flashbacks. I'm thinking the one in the wilderness that we see at some point and the one with the goddamn guitar are going to kill me to hell. And the tattoo whenever it comes. But anyway, that's all I have for you today. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you here next week for episode 3. Bye, guys.